And in our top business story, the UAE will implement a value-added tax at the rate of 5% from the 1st of January 2018. That's according to the UAE Minister of State for Financial Affairs. His Excellency Obaid Humaid Al Taya announced the decision at a joint press conference on Wednesday with Christine Lagarde, the Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund in Dubai. The minister, however, stated that the implementation of corporate income tax is not on their immediate agenda, as they are still studying the impact of direct taxation on competitiveness before introducing such measures. It was reported that during the first year of the implementation of VAT, until the 1st of January 2019, more than 100 food items, health and educational sectors will be exempt from VAT, while the UAE is expected to generate 12 billion dirhams from tax revenues. This comes at a time when the framework agreement related to the implementation of VAT in GCC countries is expected in June this year.
The percentage will be 5%. We will agree the implementation in June this year. Now, the implementation as per the GCC Supreme Council resolution to be implemented as of January 1st, 2018, and other countries can implement or take a later date of implementation on January 1st, 2019. That's it. There is a span of 1 year, given the flexibility to the readiness of each country to implement the VAT. As you are aware, we have to prepare the private sector to do that. It takes quite substantial time and to produce the required procedures by the government and by the tax authorities on what are the steps, how to be done, and the reporting time, the filing of the tax. So there are a lot of steps have to be sorted out throughout this year and prior to the implementation.
During the press conference, the Managing Director of the IMF, Christine Lagarde, spoke about how countries and policymakers in the region need to adapt themselves to the new economic reality in finding alternative sources of financing to pay for certain essential services like security, education and health that are expected by the population. She stated that the introduction of taxation in a region that is used to subsidies and absence of any tax requires a lot of preparation, as some countries in the region draw more than 70% of their income from oil revenues. The head of the IMF stressed that indirect taxation in the form of VAT in low single digits is the most viable option for GCC states in the first stage of taxation.
Statement which we will One caveat, and that's really part of our advice, is that to avoid tax competition and avoid room for arbitrage by taxpayers, it would be very advisable to proceed at the same pace and to proceed at the same rate. And our modelization is that even with a low-digit VAT rate, countries such as the Emirates, but other Gulf countries as well, can certainly generate revenues in the range of about 2% of GDP. So that's really bottom line our recommendation. And it's, for policymakers, for decision makers, to determine what is the best route and what is the best option for them to follow, at which pace they can do so. I've been most impressed by this very clearly articulated vision, by the objective that have been set for all in relation to the jubilee of the country, and by the very sound managerial approach to reaching that goal, which I have seen at all levels of both the leadership and the organization that I have experienced in the last 3 days. Now, this is my personal impression. What numbers tell us when we look at extrapolation of current trends is that clearly this country will benefit from those policies. And we see the growth rate of non-oil related activities forecasted to be up in 2017 from 2016. And as I mentioned earlier, it had accumulated buffers in order to push that diversification at a reasonable pace so that in due course, not brutally, the deficit that has been generated lately will be reduced and the country will be on a sound macroeconomic footing.
DP World has signed 2 major contracts for civil construction work and its new container Terminal 4 on a reclaimed island over in Jebel Ali Port. Under Phase 1, Dutco Balfour Beatty is developing an operational yard area with a key length of 1,200 metres. BAM International Abu Dhabi is building a 400-metre bridge and adjacent causeways and a 2.2-kilometre quay wall with an alongside depth of 18 metres designed to accommodate the largest of mega container vessels. Halcro will deliver the civil works on the reclaimed island north of Jebel Ali's Terminal 2, connected to the mainland by a 3,000-metre causeway. Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, the DP World Group Chairman and CEO, stated that under Phase 1, Terminal 4 will add 3.1 million TEU by 2018, taking Jebel Ali Port's total capacity to 22.1 million. DP World will further expand Terminal 4's capacity to a total of 7.8 million TEU under Phase 2. Bin Sulayem added that with our 4 million capacity TEU container Terminal 3 fully operational this year, Jebel Ali will be able to accommodate 10 mega container ships simultaneously, and the new Terminal 4 will increase that handling capacity. Hotels in both Abu Dhabi and Dubai saw a drop in revenues per available room in January this year. That's according to the latest survey, with a 9.3% fall in Dubai and a 15% drop over in Abu Dhabi from the previous month. According to accountancy firm EY's Middle East Hotel Benchmark Survey, hotels in Abu Dhabi and Dubai noticed a drop in KPIs due to several factors, such as additional room supply, general macroeconomic conditions, coupled with the drop in the euro, making it more expensive for travellers from Europe, and reduced visitation from Russia due to the significant devaluation of their local currency to the lowest level ever. Over 2015 as a whole, EY said that both cities recorded the highest occupancy rates in the region at 80%, followed by Ras Al Khaimah with 75%. Overnight visitor numbers rose 7.5% in 2015 to 14.2 million, and Asia was the largest source of growth, with a 26% year-on-year jump in Indian visitors to more than 1.6 million people, making India Dubai's #1 source of visitors. The US, UK, Australia, Singapore and Germany are the top 5 destinations for UAE residents who are looking to invest in property overseas, according to the latest report. A YouGov survey commissioned by IP Global revealed that when respondents were asked where they would consider investing in property abroad, the US topped the list, with 21% saying that they would consider investing. The UK came in second with 19%, and then Australia at 16%. Singapore and Germany rounded out the top 5 with 13%. When selecting assets to invest in, UAE property was the most popular for UAE investors, as local residents currently invest in property at 42% than stocks, shares or bonds at 30%. 41% of respondents identified tax as a reason that would prevent them from investing in property assets overseas, while 33% said that a lack of understanding of foreign laws is also an investment obstacle.